presbyacusis. As age advances, hearing loss increases. Now, if you look at this picture, the innermost ear, this alone, let me zoom for you. It will look like this. Say number 1, 2 and 3. The number 1 is cochlea. So the cochlea is the part which is concerned with hearing. If you take a cross section of cochlea, it will look like this. If you zoom this part alone, it will look like this. So this is a part which helps in hearing. So it has got so many parts, hair cells, then you have stria vascularis, you have basal membrane, so many parts. So as the age advances, the parts in different stages, you can have changes in that, and it results in hearing loss and results in different types of presbyacusis, which can be classified into 4 different types. I am not going into detail of the different types. Now, presbyacusis, it affects both the ears equally as the age advances, and it affects the inner ear nerves mainly. Now, what are the causes for this? I have been explaining to you that even the definition I have been saying that this is age related. Then why am I asking what is the cause? Because there was a study which was done in Sudan, which is a country in the northern part of Africa, where the study was done quite far away from the city, where there is least noise pollution, no factories, no industries, no traffic and so on. And the hearing test was done for the old age, for the people, those who are above the age of 65. Surprisingly, it was noted that what hearing loss was expected at that particular age was not noted, not seen in that group. So it was concluded it is not age alone which leads to this hearing loss. It's a combination of so many factors. Like it can be genetic, which is hereditary, and there's an influence of the environmental factors like traffic sound, factories, and so many other sound which is seen in the environment. A combination of all this along with the changes in aging. This leads to presbyacusis. That was the final conclusion. Now, the complaints of the patient. They say the sound which they hear, it's all muffled, and there is a hearing loss, no doubt about it. And some words they cannot discriminate. If you give phonetically balanced words to them like pan and van, they are not able to discriminate fast. Some of them, they can complain of sound in the ear, ringing sound or buzzing sound. When you examine the ear, both the eardrums are normal. When you do a hearing test, it shows moderate to severe hearing loss, which is almost equal on both sides. Now, along with this hearing test, which is called the Pureton audiometry, you need to do one more test called speech discrimination test. How is this going to help us? Speech discrimination test is a test where we give phonetically balanced words. We present these words to the patient, like how I mentioned before, like pan, van, like that. We present so many similar words like this, and we get a percentage, how much words they are able to repeat properly or correctly. We take a percentage of it. If the score is very good, then these type of patients can be helped with a hearing aid. But if the score is bad, the hearing aid may not be of that much of help. That's why we do this test. Some patients we need to do an MRI. When the hearing loss on both sides is not the same, it is asymmetrical. Hearing loss on one ear is more, and the patient complains of ringing sound too. Along with that, when you take a detailed history, they say sometimes they may have some dizziness also. These patients better to take an MRI also to rule out other conditions. Now coming to the treatment. As a courtesy, it's always good to talk to old people. You have to face them. Then you talk to them. Why? Because they reply to your question by seeing your body language and by doing lip reading. And of course, for the hearing loss, we need to give them a hearing aid. And suppose the hearing loss is profound, they can also opt for a cochlear implant. Cochlear implant is nothing but an implant which is put in the inner ear so that they can hear better. But mine is a surgical procedure and it is costly too. But commonly, hearing aid is the one which is prescribed to you. Now, you can assess them by giving listening devices at home or wherever if they want to watch a television. We can provide them with infrared headphones in which the amplification can be increased. Likewise, the telephone amplifier also can help them a lot. If we are not doing any of these treatment, whatever I have mentioned, what are the problems? They feel very reluctant to be in the public and talk to them because first of all they are not able to hear properly and they have to ask them to repeat the words. So feeling bad, they become isolated. This is called as social isolation. When they become isolated in all the situations, they slowly go into depression too. And it can affect their cognitive function also, and the dementia can increase too. So these are the complications. What are the new developments in this field? If we give them antioxidants, maybe it will help them say like 10 or 20%. Lot of research is going on the last two topics like coenzyme Q10 and stem cell therapy. So if there's a breakthrough in the stem cell therapy, maybe we can decrease the aging process and we can help them getting a better hearing. This is all about presbycusis. Thank you so much.